again, it's one of those ones you're not really meant to talk about. Did a wee bit in Richard Gadd's new series that's been filming in Glasgow.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
So that's his kind of follow-up to Baby Reindeer.
Baby Reindeer, yeah.
But you're not allowed to say anything about any of these things.
Okay.
That's
You're
awesome.
allowed to say. Are you allowed to say that, or do I need to cut?
I don't know. I've said it now.
We
I
can
think
say
you're
your
allowed-
name, though.
I'm pretty sure you're allowed to say you're in something. but
Yeah.
As long as you don't tell us the role or
And
anything
they've
like
changed the name about three times, so I don't even know what it's actually called now.
That's good, though. That's ambiguous and very exciting.
Yeah.
Rage Whale. Special guest episode.
What an exciting guest we have for you today. There's been a murder! It's Colin McCredie, most famous for his iconic role in the Scottish TV programme Taggart, but he's also been in Shallow Grave, The Island, River City, Outlander, Still Game, and many others, as well as a prolific theatre career. Kevin met Colin up in Scotland working on a film called The Last Bus with Timothy Spall and Phyllis Logan, and we start our discussions there. This was an absolute treat for us, so we hope you do enjoy.
Welcome back, everyone, to an extra special episode of Rage Well, one I'm particularly excited about. As I was joking to Colin earlier, our special guest, is that I am Scottish and no one believes me because I don't have a strong enough accent anymore. Even my partner of 13 years doesn't believe I'm Scottish. Anyway, we have got a very special Scottish icon here today. He's laughing because he doesn't believe it, but he is a staple of Scottish TV, and if you're in Scotland, you've heard of him, and so is everyone else. Both my hosts are very excited. This is Colin McCredie. How you doing?
Hi, Kevin. How are you?
Yeah,
I believe you're Scottish.
Thanks. I can turn it on a wee bit, but I sound like I'm faking it sometimes.
You sound like Jimmy Cranky, Kev.
Yeah, I did meet Kevin in Scotland, so that's probably why I think he was Scottish.
Yeah,
because most people you meet in Scotland are Scottish.
Makes sense.
Apart from when it's the Edinburgh Fringe, when there's no Scottish people in Scotland.
Everyone runs away.
Yes.
Oh, funny enough, we had someone that was at the Edinburgh Fringe on the other week, Kaylee.
Yeah, we had a comedian guest on here a couple of weeks ago.
Were they Scottish?
They're not. No.
Exactly. See,
proves the point. I was just in Glasgow last week. I was at King Tut's.
Oh yeah.
To see one of my cousins playing a band. Whereabouts in Scotland are you at the moment?
Yeah, I'm in Glasgow. One of my claim to fame is that I was actually at the opening night of King Tut's Wawa Hut.
Really?
The very first night when it opened, because I was obsessive about sort of Glasgow Scottish bands in the late 80s and used to hang about my local record shop in Perth.
Yeah.
And the guys that ran it said, "Oh, they're opening this club and this new music venue in Glasgow. We've got a couple of invites. Do you want them?" So me and my friend went along, and it was wall to wall with like all the Scottish bands at the time, your kind of Hipsways and Bluebells and Love and Money. And the highlight of the night was meeting who then were had just broken through, was the band Texas, and Ali, the guitarist's then girlfriend, was Maria McKee, who'd been in Lone Justice, a kind of 80s band, and then she at that point had just gone to #1 with Feels Like Heaven from Days of Thunder.
Oh yeah.
So she's this iconic American sort of singer-songwriter. So I met Maria McKee at the first night of King Tut's Wawa Hut.
Well, that's quite impressive, isn't it? I mean, because that's like famous for having Oasis started off. They got signed there or something like that.
Yeah. They snuck on a bill that they weren't meant to be on, and Alan McGee just was in the crowd because there was a band called 18 Wheeler were actually headlining.
And no one's ever heard of them.
A guy I was at school with was the drummer.
Oh, well, you've heard of them.
But they're famous for being the band that Oasis sneaked on the bill. They were signed to Creation as well.
Oh, amazing.
Sneaky.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Sorry for all the boring music chat, but
no, that's amazing.
Specialised subject.
yeah, we're all huge music fans and stuff like that, especially sort of rock side of things as well. But I mean, I was just going to say before we get into a little bit of stuff that you've probably told loads of people about before, but just like how we met, like we were. I don't know how you got the position, but my friend Trish and Sasha are one of the producers on the film The Last Bus, that you starred in with Timothy Spall and Phyllis Logan from Downton Abbey and stuff like that. And honestly, it was great to meet Timothy Spall, but I genuinely was telling Trish that I was very excited to meet you. I played it down when I met you, but it was really exciting meeting you. How did you get the part?
Well, I'd worked with Gillis McKinnon, the director, on one of his earlier films called Small Faces.
Oh, yeah.
Which was a mid-90s film about Glasgow gangs set in the 60s, which is quite an underrated film. It won Best Film at the Edinburgh Film Festival, I think, in 95 or 96. It was based on Gillis's experiences of growing up in the south side of Glasgow in the 60s and being caught between sort of gang culture at the time and wanting to go to art school. So really good film, actually.
As well.
What's that?
He actually wrote it as well as director.
He wrote it with his brother, yeah. It was a BBC Films production, and it was, as I say, it was period set in the 60s, but it sort of came out around about the time of Trainspotting, so it kind of got lost. You rarely see it, but actually you can get it on YouTube. Someone's uploaded the whole film.
Ah, yeah.
It's a really good film, actually. So I was in that, so I knew Gillis. That's the one.
Oh, that's cool.
So you can just see I'm just like out of shot at the side of that behind one of the boys.
I found out today there's a train spotting too.
Yeah, I think I'm just about there. So what's that?
I found out today there's a train spotting too.
Yeah, did you not know that?
Where have you been? No. It's called T2.
It's good.
T2, yeah. With Arnold
Schwarzenegger. It's actually pretty good.
Is it?
Yeah.
I never even knew it was a thing.
Yeah. Danny Boyle doesn't make bad films. But yeah, so I'd worked with Gillis before, so I think I'd like I think it was probably even a year or so before they'd done like meetings about it, and I hadn't heard anything, and then right out of the blue it was like, oh, do you want to come and play this part? And I met you, and I think The Last Bus is a nice, gentle film. I think people, it seems to get really positive feedback. Again, for me, I grew up watching, when I was a kind of teenager, A Feeder's Own Pet was like a massive show. And obviously I'd seen Tim Spall on stage and loads of other stuff. So yeah, it was a thrill to meet him, and he was a really, really lovely guy. And just lovely to work with. And the disappointing thing about that was there was a whole scene in the bus that they actually cut that never made it into the film, which was especially one of the reasons. It was just a nice little scene between the two of us, but he got cut.
So I enjoyed that because when we're doing it, we're filming because it's meant to be like the film of Timothy Spall. His wife passes away, and he takes the ashes from Cornwall where he lives to dry. He takes the bus all the way to Scotland to spread her ashes, and along the way he becomes a viral sensation by just being a nice man and bumping into people along the way. And Colin's one of the guys along the way, and shooting it because your Land Rover breaks down, or
yes,
I was there for a whole day, but I still didn't really because in 3 days you film like 2 minutes of a sequence. So we were just standing in the pouring rain waiting for it to stop, and then for you to do like a scene for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, and the thing that it was really great about Tim Spall in that was that I had a rehearsal with him, and then there'd been a read through, and he wasn't. It's not method acting, but he basically inhabited. He was playing like an 89-year-old man, and that was how he walked, and that was his attitude all day. So you would cut after a scene, and he'd go, "I'd like to go again," and he would walk back to the bus like an old man.
Yeah.
So he stayed in the kind of like persona, and he would still speak to you and chat to you, but he very much was like, he wouldn't rush. He wouldn't rush back as a kind of whatever he is, mid-60s man. He inhabited like that all day, that kind of vibe, and I quite liked that type of method acting.
Did you find that intimidating?
Yeah,
To
and
film
it doesn't
again?
get in anyone's way.
Yeah.
And another could be interesting thing about the last bus is there's about 6 or 7 of the cast of Small Faces pop up in the last bus.
Oh.
They're all like 25 years older.
I must admit, when I was dealing with Timothy Spall, it's a little bit nerve-wracking, a little bit speaking to him, especially when he, like you said, he was inhabiting that character a little bit, wasn't he? Like, I was taking some photographs of him from a distance and some behind-the-scenes stuff, and he caught my eye when I was taking some shots in between when they were just moving like his jacket and stuff, and he went, "You." I was like, "Oh shit, what have I done?" Walked right over and he went, "Don't take any photos in between when I'm not in the character." And I went, "Oh, hey, no worries. I didn't realize." He was like, "No, not a problem. Just when we're moving the hat and stuff, I'm just have to moving things, and I don't want a weird shot. Like when I'm paused and we're not filming, you want to get some behind, just give me a little thumbs up and I'll pose for you." And I was like, "You done now?" And he went, "Yeah." And he went, and just like, "Shall I take some portraits?" He was like, "Yeah, go for it. Take some from over there. That looks good from that angle."
Just Kevin, like us all, just a professional.
Yeah.
Well,
I thought he was very professional and very nice.
Don't shoot me when I'm Neo from the Matrix.
Well,
stop taking photos when I'm on the toilet. Jesus.
That's what most photographers are like, candid.
Well, the very last day of filming, he came out of the bus, the trailer thing, and it was the first time I saw him without his makeup on. And like you're saying, he's an older man, but he was playing older. And it was only when he came out that trailer and he had no makeup on and his hair was different. I was like, "You look 20 years younger." He goes, "That's makeup, man."
And he's quite
different.
He's quite a dandy guy. He wears like nice clothes and nice shirts and nice suits and things. So he comes across much cooler and like much younger in real life.
Yeah. But I enjoyed working with yourself there as well, because when you were there at the Land Rover and stuff, we got a chance to like hang out a little bit because it's taken everyone ages to do stuff around. So managed to get some cool photos of you and the.
You did. You got some great photographs of me and my Land Rover.
Yeah, I wasn't allowed to share half of them because like Trish is like, "Don't share anything till the film goes out, and everything needs to be approved." And it's like, oh. It's tough.
That's the thing now. Everything's NDA'd. Everything's don't tell anyone. Don't say anything. You can't change the excitement if you ever get a job till it's out.
Sorry to interrupt the show. Just a reminder to say we love and appreciate you all for listening to the podcast, whether it's on Spotify, Apple, or Amazon. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, follow, as this really helps us continue to progress and improve the content and keeps us making these fun episodes for you guys. Oh, we're also on these things called Instagram and TikTok. You can follow us there too, as we share short, funny reels on the reg that you can share with friends if you like. Now, back to the mayhem.
I've got like 100 photos of you that I'm not allowed to share apart from the ones I sent you. I'm like, there you go, but I'm not allowed to do anything.
Just give them to me. It's too
They're
late
not
now.
on the DVD extras though. Like I thought that'd be a nice little touch behind the scenes.
DVDs, Drew. It's 2025.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah, but Drew, I agree with you.
Special features. There must be streamed special features.
Exactly. My cut scene with Tim Spall could be in it.
Exactly, man. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Get the guy back in. You know?
I did look at the DVD. There's no extras.
Blu-ray. Get the Blu-ray. You'll be in the Blu-ray version.
Because that day as well, because when you were doing the bus scenes, like Trish was there. Do you know Trish well, or?
I think no, not particularly.
They kind of disappeared a little bit. Yeah. She came on and she was like, "Get in the bus." I was like, "It's really tight in the bus." Like, I got a few shots in the bus and I was kicked out, and then I tried to get back on, and then it was your scene. I got kicked out, and that is when it was torrential rain, and I wasn't wearing the right footwear. I was just huddled behind a rock while you were all cozy in there chatting to me as well.
And I think the glamour of that day, at the end of the day, I think that were they not waiting on about 10 sheep to put on the bus?
Yeah, I was on the bus for that. That's yeah.
Wow.
They got to get a professional animal handler to say that it was safe for like 5 sheep or something to come walk.
I was upstaged by a sheep that day.
You were. That That was
Or
a
10
lot.
sheep.
For the best of us.
I think,
Unless
yeah,
you're
10 sheep.
more charismatic than the other 9.
Exactly.
My-
It's not the first time I've been upstaged by a sheep.
I don't want to know that story.
Well, it is Scotland after all.
My cousin Michael. I wanted him to come on this episode, but he's really really busy at the moment with his partner. But he actually
that sounded dodgy.
That
That sounded so bad.
Yeah, especially
So
after the
bad.
chat.
talk about throw someone under the bus after talking about the last bus.
Well, the funny thing is, he lives in Glasgow. He lives literally just down the bottom of King Tut's, where the Mitchell Library is. And when I was shooting the last bus, I messaged him when I was there, saying, "You need to help me out. I need socks and trainers because I was getting like trench foot because I was in the Scottish freezing cold. Like my feet were wet for about 12 hours. They were so wrinkled, and he came and saved me. But yeah, he wanted to come on today because he's actually been a bit part in Taggart back in the day. Yeah, he had a talking scene. Well, what a comment. So he said one thing. So he's worked with you technically. He does like little acting bits, but it was long.
Do you know what he did?
I don't. I'll need to find his message because he did message me saying what he did, I think.
I did do like 75 episodes, some of which were 3 or 4 parters, so
yeah,
I've got a pretty good memory, but...
His name's Michael O'Connor. He said, I did a full season of Taggart. I was a featured extra, always at every crime scene and in the situation DCI Bradley Mills. I had one line in 8 episodes.
Oh, that's all right.
So
yeah, you've been one of the scenic crime officers.
Yeah.
Oh no, I would probably. Hopefully, I wasn't rude to him.
No, he's excited. He wanted to come on. He can't be with us today.
Oh, that's a shame. We'll say hello to him.
Will do. There you go, Michael. That's for you. That's my big cousin. He's got me onto everything that was cool when it comes to that. So yeah, I mean, you started that in, not to age you too much, but you started that in 1983. That's when I was born.
Yeah, I wasn't in it then. I was at primary school then.
Oh, you're at Oh no, you started in 95, didn't you? Yeah.
Yeah, so I did it for about it was for like 95 to 2010.
Yeah.
Which you get less for murder actually.
I'm glad you said that word because that is the most famous word.
Yeah. No, so yeah, Taggart started when I was in primary 7. So it was a show that I'd grown up in, and then like in secondary school, and then you go to drama school, and you know obviously you meet other actors and people who leave, or people who are at college would get parts. So it was definitely always a show. And at that point in the early 90s, there wasn't a huge amount of drama getting made in Scotland. There was no film scene really then. It all sort of died down after sort of the Bill Forsyth. So Taggart was like the big job to get.
Yeah,
and,
definitely.
You know, more often than not, you might be murdered or be a murderer. So I never really expected to become like a detective.
And how did that come apart? Did you start as a small role that built, or were you employed as that detective straight away?
Yeah, so I'd gone at the STV at the time. Were doing another show called Dr. Finlay, which was a sort of reboot of the Dr. Finlay's casebook, and they'd redone that in the early 90s. It was a really, really good show. They spent a lot of money on it. It was very well made. It had a great cast: Ian Bannon, Annette Crosby, Jason Fleming, David Runtoul. And I'd gone up for a part in that with my friend Tony Curran, who we were both at drama school with. And Tony had a bit more experience pre-going to drama school. So Tony got the part, but he was doing a play at the time. And he said to them like 2 days before filming, by the way, I need away at 6 o'clock. No, 5 o'clock, because I'm doing Romeo and Juliet in Edinburgh. And of course they went, well, no, we need you to 7 o'clock. You know, there's loads of big names in this show. You know, you either do the job or you're off. So I kind of got a call like at very short notice saying, can you come in for a costume fitting and start the day after? And it was a really nice part in Dr. Finlay. So I was out for a kind of week filming every day. So it was really as a result of that I kind of then came to the attention of Robert Love, who was like the producer at STV then. And basically from that, I did a bit in Take the High Road. I did a couple of smaller parts in Taggart. And then, the part of a cock came up, and I got the job. So it was down to my pal Tony Curran. I'm sitting
That's
in Glasgow, and
amazing.
he now lives in LA. So I don't know where I went wrong. Or Tony.
What? Sorry, just to interject. With the character, was there like a character progression, or were you playing 3 different characters until you became the?
Yeah, I'd actually.
The
Taggart wasn't the
progression was
most.
huge in this. Huge.
No, I'd been like a kind of car thief, and I'd been like a kind of farmhand, and then I came back playing like a detective
Yeah, 'cause that's
over
great.
like a kind of year.
No one noticed that farmhand detective now.
Taggart always sort of did that a wee
All
bit.
the car and like, why is he now a detective? Like, was
Yeah.
that
The thing is, though, back in the day,
Then
no
they
one could go
showed
back
them
and
there was
rewatch
like-
it, could they?
What's that?
No one could go back and rewatch it in the day unless they recorded it on video. They
Yeah.
couldn't go back and rewatch.
No.
So you'd watch it then, and then
Yeah.
you'd like forget about it 3 or 4
It could
weeks
be like
later.
a 6-month gap. Whereas now, if you watch them all like on iPlayer or like the equivalent, it would be like 1 minute later, I'd be a totally different part.
Yeah. Like, you got a split personality. They're like, wait, he's a thief, but he's trying to capture the thief. You're like, what? It's like our version of Doctors. I was in an episode of Doctors, and then I remember them sending me another audition thing, and they're like, you could play a different character now. Like, you're playing a creepy, like, weirdo, and now you might be a doctor. I'm like, but aren't they going to just think the creepy weirdo is now operating on people? Like, they're like, no, people don't pay attention that much. I'm like, okay, like, for continuity, but yeah.
There's one. I think there's one actor that you can look up who I think was in like 9 different parts in Taggart over the years.
That's
You know what I
crazy.
mean?
That's crazy.
There's not there's maybe more now, but there wasn't a huge amount of Scottish actors probably then. So it was a small pool.
Because what made you want to get into it, or was it just a bit of drama class that took off, or like you said, if there's less jobs out there, especially in Scotland for that role, what made you kind of want to pursue it a little bit?
I grew up in Perth, and we didn't have any. No one in my family was of a kind of theatrical or TV background. My older sister got a job in Perth Theatre, which at that time was a repertory company that would put on like 10, 12 productions a year. She started working at like as an usher, and then started working backstage. She went off to drama school. She came back, worked as a stage manager, and I was maybe about 10 or 11. And she would get me free tickets to go and see, whether it was Agatha Christie or a George Bernard Shaw play or a Shakespeare. And I just really loved it. And her boyfriend was an actor from Perth who was in the shows, so it was that thing of getting backstage and behind the scenes and being able to sit in the wings. And then all through school I worked in Perth Theatre in the box office and had small parts in shows, did the follow spot, and went to the youth theatre on a Saturday, and there was 2 boys there. There was me and there was a young boy from Crieff called Ewan McGregor. So me and Ewan were like worked backstage and things at Perth together before either of us went to drama school. So that was really, I just always wanted to be an actor, and then auditioned for what was then the RSAMD, the Royal Scottish Academy of Music and Drama, and then just got in, and you get a job, then you get another job, and just sort of
kind of flowed.
Yeah, it's just what I always wanted to do.
And what's obviously there's a big difference, but what do you find the biggest difference and your preference between doing theatre or doing TV and film? Do you have like, I know there's like benefits for both, but what's your kind of preference? What do you kind of enjoy?
I think in the early 90s, at that point, there was still a pretty vibrant theatre scene in Scotland. So you had rep companies in Perth and Dundee and Pitlochry and Edinburgh, and a lot of these places are not producing and not employing as many actors anymore. Hardly any compared to then. So I definitely imagined I would come out of drama school and maybe go and work back in Perth at my local theatre, or maybe just be a theatre actor. And I never really saw myself doing film and TV. And just the way I came out of drama school, I got one job, then another job. And I think it was about 2 years before I even did it like a play. So you just sort of go down. And even now, like out of my career, I've done lots of plays, probably 20 or 30 over the years, but I still feel a wee bit inexperienced.
Oh, really?
Doing a play, it just sort of slightly feels out of my comfort zone. when you might be working with people that are doing 4 or 5 a year, or I always feel I'm a bit of a fraud in the theatre.
It's a different animal, isn't it? Theatre.
Yeah.
Drew's an actor. He's done a lot of that
Yeah.
as well.
He's been doctors twice.
Once,
cool.
I only played the creepy weirdo guy.
Oh.
Weren't you the Bill as well, or something else as well? You were in a few of those things.
No, I did like a stint in Corrie and Hollyoaks.
Cool.
That was about it. Yeah. But I did do the Royal Exchange Theatre in Manchester, which was incredible. With Stephen Tompkinson was like the lead, which was amazing. From Drop the Dead Donkey.
Yes, yeah. I did a show there once, which was a play we'd done in Glasgow, and they sort of revived it, but it was only on the studio at the Royal Exchange.
Oh, but nice!
I remember it being fantastic because it had a backstage canteen.
Yeah.
And it also had the best dressing rooms I'd ever been in, because they gave you towels, dressing gowns, and I'm sure that there was a bed above your mirror. So you could have a wee lie down.
Yeah, you could have a wee nap in between shows for the matinee and then the evening.
You had your own bed in your dressing room.
Was there like a million stairs to get down to the stage?
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
Because I swear to God, there was a moment where I was going to nap in between, like during the show, but I was like just chilling out, like making myself a little drink, and then I heard like a line before I'm supposed to come down, pretty much to move some of the sets, and I was like, oh man, I was like that's my cue line almost, like, and I just remember jumping down the spiral stairs, like I didn't even go down them, I just jumped onto each one,
like a fireman.
Yeah, pretty much, like. I managed to get there, like sweat dripping down. I'm just like trying to move some of the sets, and they're like looking at me like, it's like the guys will open the doors because it's all in the round, isn't it? They open the different doors for when you come through, and they were just looking at me like, what do you call this? And I'm like, what's upstairs? There's a million fucking stairs. It was just mental, absolutely mental. But what an amazing experience to.
Yeah, I thought it was a great place to work. I was only, it was only like 3 weeks, but I loved it. It's a beautiful theatre as well.
I was incredibly lucky because the play was the Revenger's Tragedy, and Jonathan Moore, who at the time was directing a couple of shows at my drama school, Drama Centre London, he remembered me and got me into audition, and then he sewed 3 characters together so that I didn't just have like 4 lines. I had maybe 12 lines, which was lovely though, to play all these different characters and just have that experience of 2 months in Manchester rehearsing. And he's like, you're going to be doing a lot of the get in and get out. And I'm like, I just want to learn. I just want to learn from these amazing actors. And I got to improvise a couple of ideas, and that got into the show. And I was like, I can't believe some of my little ideas got in. But yeah, man, just a beautiful experience.
Yeah. So you say theatre's like, it's a kind of full committed, you can't get by with half measures.
Yeah.
You need 100% all day, every performance. And as I say, like, I love theatre, but I also love film and TV. And if push came to shove and someone said you have to choose, I would probably because I've done more over the years, and also you tend to get treated better in film and TV and paid better, and you get residuals if you're lucky, and you get fed.
Yeah, true.
Theatre can be,
and also
theatre can be hard.
I was going to say, if you cock it up, they can just go cut. Right, we'll just reset. Whereas in stage, like when you forget a line and you dry, I remember being on stage with Stephen Tompkinson, just watching the scene, because I have interjections after some of their big dialogue, and I'm just in awe of their acting that I forget I'm in the scene. I feel like I'm just sat in the audience going, this is amazing. And I'm like, oh man, that's my line. And I'm like, what is my line? And it's like, it feels like you're drowning. You're just drowning, and like 1,000 people are watching you. Like, fuck.
TV does feel like you're more looked after, doesn't it? Like theatre, you're out on your own, off you go, everything's on you.
Yeah,
it is a kind of slightly fault. You're only looked after so well in film and TV because the production think actors are stupid. So the reason you get picked up in a nice car is so you turn up in time, and they make it's so you don't get lost.
Yeah.
The reason they feed you is so that you don't walk off set and go and get a fish supper and disappear. So these comforts and the way you're treated, it's so that they can control you. It's not because they want to be nice to you.
Yeah.
That's it. Like the job of the first AD is like stressful because it is herding all the actors to make sure they're in the same place at the right time. But there's a lot to remember as well, isn't there? So it's quite easy to think, oh, my scene's done. I'll go and chill out over here. But no, we need to reshoot something. You need to be back over here. Don't disappear. So there's like a lot of moving parts in there.
Walking on a film or TV set, if you've never acted before, never been on one, is really, really hard. It is kind of 5% acting, 95% not looking at your mark, hitting your mark, being in the light, dealing with all the terminology. Can we do a wild track? What's a wild track? It's just, it takes you quite a long time to kind of get up to speed. And you don't really get taught that at drama school. Maybe you do now, but I certainly didn't have a clue when I first turned up on a set. I think the first job I ever did, I started the scene when they cut up the clapperboard. I didn't even wait for action.
I was going to say that it's so surreal because it's the most non-natural situation where you're trying to be natural. Do you know what I mean? Like you said, like walk over there, land on that green piece of tape, look over there, and it's like. But then when people watch the footage,
yes,
it looks hopefully natural.
Yeah, look over there where there isn't an actor or anyone in the business.
Yeah,
and then you start. Sometimes you can get, like, I remember again quite early in my career, like I took, like I think I was meant to play like we would call it a puggy, like a fruit machine, and like drinking a beer, like a bottle of beer. And I was going, how do you drink beer? How do you do it? You start getting so kind of paranoid about what you're doing and how do I drink? You kind of overanalyze things.
Yeah, my mate was like, you realise you have hands, and then you're like, what do I do with these hands? Am I moving too many fingers? Are my eyebrows going to, like, every little detail is so, it's like under the microscope, isn't it, in film? That they're like,
again on TV, you've got to be subtle, haven't you, as opposed to theatre where you're a bit bigger. That's the thing, because like a lot of theatre actors that then do movies, they're sometimes a bit too theatrical or too big. Because we were saying in one of our episodes that you've got a lot of big TV names are going into theatre, and then they're like now got mic'd up because they can't project, and then they're doing that kind of naturalistic performances that are now enhanced with a mic because they can't. They weren't trained to hit the back wall or.
Absolutely, you go to like most theatre now and it's mic'd up, which there's part of me that thinks that can be okay, but sometimes I go to quite a small theatre and go, why have they got mics on? But I've also noticed recently doing film and TV now. I think sound has probably increased a lot, and I think pretty much every actor now on a TV or film, you're always now mic'd, like a hidden mic. Plus you'll have the boom, and going back 20, 30 years ago, that wasn't really the case. So I find now that you can literally on a film TV, like, you can speak so quietly.
Yeah.
Whereas before, sometimes the sound guy would give him a bit more because then he could control. Whereas now, I think the sound is so much better that sometimes you can be acting in a scene and you can literally, what did he say?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just getting deaf with old age, but I've certainly noticed that actors speak much more quietly in film and TV now, like they whisper really.
I love the intimacy of that, though. Do you know what I mean? Like you're saying, it doesn't feel like acting because say we're in a scene now and we're just talking to each other. It's not like I'm having to say the lines in a very loud voice. It's like it just feels like a proper conversation, and it creates that naturalism. So it doesn't.
I think because I'm old school, I project. Better to be heard than not heard.
And spit like that. When Gary Oldman's in that Friends episode, to be a good actor, you've got to spit.
Yeah.
I was going to say, just on that thing of theatre, you must have heard of that small show called Black Watch.
Yes.
Did you get a chance to?
Yes. So I'd worked with John Tiffany that created it. I did his very first main stage show at the Traverse before he went to the National Theatre Scotland.
Oh wow!
And I remember going to see Black Watch, its very first run at the festival, and just being blown away by it. Yeah, one of the best pieces of theatre I've ever seen. And again, I knew I'd done a wee bit of work with Gregory that had written it, Gregory Burke, and I knew from all the boys in the show that it was quite a tense they didn't, you know, it was this play about the Black Watch based on some interviews. I don't think they really knew what it was going to be, and for some reason, they just everything came together so brilliantly, and it was one of the best pieces of theatre I've ever seen.
Oh, mate,
it's stunning. It's a stunning show.
I will never forget that show as long as I live. And also, not to mention the fact that Sean Connery was in the one I saw. Yeah, he stood up and gave it the standing ovation
in Edinburgh.
Mate, and I will never forget that moment as long as I live. So not only was a couple of my mates in the show, Eamon Elliott and Nabil Stewart. Nabil Stewart I went to drama school with, and so yeah, I couldn't wait to go there.
It would have been that same run at the Drill Hall.
That was it. That's exactly where it was, man. Yeah, and just to see Sean Connery, man, the legend, Sir Sean Connery, stand up and start clapping, I was like, Jesus Christ, that's James Bond over there, like starting this up. And I remember having a beer with Nabil afterwards, and he says, you can't believe how much the guys were shitting themselves when they said Sean Connery's out there tonight. And they're like, are you fucking kidding me? But it was such a powerful show. And I remember I went and saw it like three times, man. I absolutely loved it. And I was telling all my mates, I was like, you've got to see this show. It's the most poignant, powerful, kind of beautiful, kind of that moment when they're sending letters home and they're doing all the different to that beautiful music as well, that score.
And it was also men like it wasn't dancing, but it was like movement men, squaddies doing movement, and it was a brilliant. Physical. You know the story about in the play, the guy's coming. The researcher says he's wanting to interview these squaddies from the Black Watch about their experiences for a TV series, and he started going, "Who are we going to get to play you?" And he goes, "Oh, you're going to be the boy. You look like that boy Kevin McKidd from Trainspotting, and oh, you'll be Bobby Carlyle." Yeah. And he said, I think it was maybe Teeman or one of them. They go, "Who are they going to get to play you?" And he goes, "Oh well, they'll be the cunt, the Elephant Man."
Yeah.
So in that same run, it was the Edinburgh Film Festival. John Hurt went to see the show.
No.
And after the show, John Hurt sent a note backstage to say, "Boys, I thoroughly enjoyed the show. I thought it was marvellous. One of the best things I've ever seen. Best wishes from the cunt who played the Elephant Man."
That is brilliant. That is absolutely brilliant. But yeah, I love that show so much that I managed to find a DVD of it on Amazon. They recorded the show. Seriously, guys, if you haven't had a chance to watch Black Watch, it is the most breathtaking, powerful show you will ever see. And the dialogue was so good as well. Like when he's saying, "Tell me something I didn't ken," you know, when he's like, he was saying that one of the soldiers is a pre-op transsexual, and he's like, "Tell me something I didn't fucking ken." And it's like, I was so wrapped up in all the characters.
I just realised that was Scottish, right? I didn't.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. It might sound a bit.
Understand it fully.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just speaking double Dutch. But you know the bit where they there's like a red carpet and the guy's walking along and he's got this crazy ass monologue and he's talking and then they flip him up and they're dressing him.
It's the thread of the Black Watch.
Stories of the Black Watch and the different uniforms, and then you got and the camera goes, and then he carries on, and then it's like the choreography and the kind of physical theatre to it is breathtaking, man.
They added that scene like the day before.
Wow.
It was like they didn't know how to do this to tell the history of the Black Watch. And that's what they did it. And apparently it was like literally the day before. And it was one of the best sequences of the show.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. When I hear you talk about Black Watch, I go full 90s kid and think of London's Burning.
It's a bit like that. They've got uniforms.
They were the Black Watch, weren't they? You think of Blue Watch and Black Watch.
Yeah, that's probably right. Yeah.
But yeah, Black Watch is a masterpiece, man. Needs to be seen by.
I think I was too old to be a squad, one of your boys, but I would probably play one of the older parts now.
Yeah, I was thinking you would have been perfect for that, man. Like that would have been a great part to play.
They'll revive it again soon, I would imagine.
Yeah.
I mean, what's like, because obviously you've done a lot of theatre and TV and stuff. Has there been any like memorable stuff that is, not gone to plan? For instance, like I assume a lot in theatre, that's quite easy for things to go wrong. Like just anything that was a bit, funny that didn't work out.
Hey, just like things going wrong.
Yeah, nothing like that. Yeah.
One of the funny, well, one of the filming in Glasgow's a pretty vibrant, modern place, but people do call a spade, and you do get again something like Taggart that filmed for for a 25-year period, which was always like on shot on location. It was all done on location.
Yeah.
So people would not be that impressed if they ever saw Taggart being filmed. And I remember one day we were filming at Glasgow Central Station, and we were pulling up in the police car, running the station to arrest someone. And again, it was just the typical little Glasgow old woman was standing watching us, and we probably did the scene like 5 times, running in and out, and then eventually she sort of came over to us and went, "Oh, hello, is it Taggart you're filming?" And we were like, "Yeah, it is." She went, "Oh, is it a new episode or is it a repeat?" We were
With a straight face, not even trying to be funny.
Is it a new one or is it a repeat? And we were like, "Well, it's a new one." And it was just this idea that this little old woman wasn't, thought like why it would be a repeat. And then we were going, imagine if they did do a repeat, you had to go and refilm the whole episode, like it was a play. You had to go and they want to repeat it, right? We need to go and refilm it. But that was just like one of the most memorable things that anyone in Glasgow ever said to me.
But that
And
is
again, over the piece, you would meet lots of actors maybe coming up doing things from England or even America, and people would go, "What you doing, Taggart?" And there was a story when they did Wild Gore's Head that they were filming. They shut off the whole George Square in Glasgow, turned it into New York, and they had zombies running through chasing Brad Pitt. And at one point, he was stopped to get autographs, and some guy went, "What you doing, Brad? Is it Taggart?" What? But that was a typical response to say to Brad Pitt.
Oh, missed that episode of Taggart, that's for sure. Yeah, wow, that would have been great.
World War Z, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. I was watching a program last night. I don't know if have you seen Annika on BBC?
Yes, I think it's very good.
Yeah, I'm just I saw advertised. I didn't see the first series, so we're just on the last episode of the first series before watching the new one, and they're just running around. I'm like, I know exactly where they are. They're literally like one street away from Glasgow Central as well.
Yeah,
all the streets around there, and then obviously then they're on the locks and down, closer to, on the river and everything like that, going out to.
Yeah, the police station actually did it down at a theatre called down in Greenock, right? Which they built this new theatre right in the water, and it's glass fronted, and that's the police station.
I was going to say, yeah.
So yeah, so the company that do that's called Black Camel, and they did Sunshine and Leith, and they've done Annika. And they're a great company based in Glasgow, and I did a show with them last year called The Island in Chelan, which was the first high-end Gaelic English co-production. So they tried to make it like a kind of Scandi show.
Yes.
And we filmed up in Harris, and it was a 4-part, and they spent like £1 million in each episode. So it was the most money they'd ever spent on a Gaelic show.
Wow.
And it was a lovely job to do. As I say, we went to Harris up in Upper Hebrides, and then we did some of it in Glasgow. So yeah, they're a really good company, Black Camel, and I think Annika's a great show.
Yeah, it's very unique, the fact that she breaks the fourth wall, talks to the camera a few times.
Yeah.
She's like very engaging, very funny as well, isn't she?
Yeah. It's a good.
I was looking at like Scottish TV shows recently as well, like specifically, and like, not because you're on, just in general, but the quality is continuing to increase in the amount of them. Like before, if you said name a Scottish show, like you would say Taggart. You couldn't think of one that was Scottish, but there's tons that have been coming out recently. And comedies as well, like Two Doors Down as well.
And I think there was a lot, obviously, like Department Q's been a big one, and that sat for a long time before it went out, and it went down a storm, I think, and I think that could run for like 8 or 9 years, I think, because it's a remake of a Danish thing.
Oh, isn't it?
Yeah, as I say, that series I did on Chelan, the island, again, they're off the belief of we now all watch shows that are dubbed. 10 years ago or 15 years ago, people think, oh, that's too arty, that's too now. But now with like Netflix and things, people continually watch stuff with subtitles and watch stuff from South Korea. So they're of the belief that even though, it's 60% Gaelic, maybe 30-40% English, that this show can go out into the world and people enjoy it because it's something a bit different.
Yeah.
I don't speak Gaelic and I speak English in it, but there's something I think when you watch a show with subtitles, you get more into the story, and weirdly you don't judge the acting as much. I think you just accept it because it sounds really different and it sounds really good. I always find it hard to tell if actors speaking a different language are good or bad. To me, if someone speaks French, they sound amazing, or Norwegian or Swedish. So I think you get lost in the show more.
And
Yeah.
even
I think these shows can go anywhere in the world now. Doesn't matter
Squid
that they're
Games
set
is a
in
great
Paris.
example of that. Squid Games was a great example.
Yeah, all the Korean stuff that's coming over.
Yeah.
Yeah, really good.
I think this show's done really well. I think it's selling really, really well throughout the world. No one's going, "Oh, it's a Gaelic show." They're just going, "Oh, this is a bit different."
Yeah, there seems to be a lot from Scotland and Ireland at the moment as well. A lot of Irish shows, especially the comedy stuff as well, that's coming out. But like even Annika, like that's got a Nordic theme as well because she's from Norway, I think it is.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So I don't know if they were trying to deliberately tap into that and hit a bit of that.
I think
sort
it's
of
quite
zeitgeist is going on.
Again, not going back to Taggart, but I think Taggart was always shown in Denmark very often, even before it was shown in Scotland. It was a very popular show there.
Oh.
And I think it's one of the shows that I think it's on the record. It was a show that influenced a lot of the Scandi stuff. I think The Killing was specifically, the guy said, "I'd grown up watching this Scottish show and I wanted to make a show like that," which is a little known fact. I don't know if they quite gets the credit. Folk just think that's that cop show from Glasgow, but it was definitely inspired a lot of the Scandi stuff. So it's quite weird that we're now going full circle.
Wow.
And we're now trying to make Scandi shows in Scotland.
Well, because I was going to say, the TV series Marcella.
Yes.
Yeah, because that supposedly was written by the team that did, I think, The Bridge. And then it's like a cross merge of kind of like a UK/Nordic kind of vibe. Marcella was brilliant. I can't remember the name of the lead. God damn it, what was her name?
Thingy from, she was in Brookside.
Yeah.
What's her name? She's a big star.
Yeah, big star. God, hang on, I'm going
to... yeah, why can't I think of
Anna Friel.
Anna Friel, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that was really good.
That was a great show, man. I love murder mysteries, though, where it's spread out over like 8 episodes and you're constantly guessing and there's different red herrings, man. It's cool.
I mean,
I'm going to have to duck out because my device is overheating, giving me warnings. But Colin, it's been an absolute pleasure
James, nice
meeting you.
To meet you.
Like I say, grew up watching Taggart with my mum and dad. Absolutely incredible. And we hope to see you on again here soon.
Good. Thank you, James. Nice to see you.
Love you both.
See you in a bit,
Cheers.
Nice one, dude. Take it easy.
Yeah, I said that Department Q just finished watching that a few weeks ago. That's pretty exceptional, isn't it? And like you say, it can run for ages, and they've got a new series in post production at the moment already.
Yeah, I think it is. I think they have made 8 or 9 series, haven't they? The sort of, is that a Danish version?
What? No, Department Q, the Scottish
one. It's
a
remake. It's a remake of a Danish show.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I don't know how many series they've had.
I think they've done quite a lot. So obviously the idea was to sort of Scottishify it, and it seems to have gone down very well.
Yeah, I think it's worked.
The Scottish sauce.
Yes, hopefully I'll be in season 2. Nice. I didn't even get seen for season 1, so maybe season 2 or season 10, as long as it keeps going.
Have you got anything in the works at the moment?
As I say, the show that Anchila in Ireland, it's gone in iPlayer fairly recently, and they showed that in BBC 4. And then I just did a little bit. Again, it's one of those ones you're not really meant to talk about. Did a wee bit in Richard Gadd's new series that's been filming in Glasgow.
Oh wow!
So that's his kind of follow up to Baby Reindeer.
Baby Reindeer, yeah.
But you're not allowed to say anything about any of these things.
Okay, you're allowed to say. Are you allowed to say that, or do I need to cut?
I don't know. I've said it now.
We can say your name though.
I'm pretty sure you're allowed to say you're in something.
Yeah.
As long as you don't tell us the role or anything.
And they've changed the name about three times, so I don't even know what it's actually called now.
That's good though. That's ambiguous and very exciting.
Yeah. So awesome. I think that could be very good.
Well, yeah, he's got a lot of heat behind him at the moment as well, so in a good way. So I think that's going to help. Have you got anything else on the horizon that you're looking into doing, or something you would like to do?
No, there seems to be. This year's been a bit quiet. There's a lot coming back, getting filmed again. So I think Rebus is coming back, and Department Q's coming back. I think Vigil's coming back. The slight problem I sometimes have still in being an actor who was in such an identifiable show and playing a cop in it is that often I'll go up for these shows and they'll go, "You've already been a policeman." So I think in a couple of years' time, when I age a bit, I'll be able to. People will forget that I played kind of an iconic police character in the past.
It must be tough in that sense because people see you as that character, because it was, like you say, it was iconic. It was part of everyone's upbringing in Scotland. So if you're going to be in a Scottish role, it might detract from the role because they can't see you as a different. No matter how good of an actor you are, they see you visually.
So I do feel as if things are getting a wee bit better in that regard. But I sometimes go up for stuff and I'll go, "I've done this before." But then that show, the Island show, I played like the Island PC in that. So actually, for the first time, got to be like a uniformed policeman.
Oh yeah,
because I never wore a uniform in Taggart. So I've actually gone backwards. I've gone from being a detective to now like back in uniform. So I think maybe that'll put an end to it. The fact I've actually played another cop now.
Yeah,
I was going to say, the TV series Criminal with Irvin Welsh.
Yes.
Yeah, a friend.
Right.
Yeah, Crime. Sorry, Crime. I was just going to say a friend of Kev's and myself, David Elliott, is. He played a character in that with the big moustache and.
Yeah, it was. I think I was up for a couple of parts in that. I thought it was a really good show.
Yeah, really, really well done, man.
Yeah.
Crime.
Again, I don't know if that'll come back. I think they did 2 years of that.
Yeah, there's. I think there was rumors he was saying there might be a season. Is it 3 or 4 maybe?
Yeah, I think 3 maybe.
Because it delves more into the Dougray Scott's character, which is.
But it was good. It was good black humour.
Yeah,
it was like a police procedural show, but with like Irvin Welsh humour, which made it really, really fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, man.
And I think these sort of programs really benefit from having that, especially as like if it's done on the Scottish vibe of things. People got to remember, like, the Scottish humour is in everything, even dark things. Like, you can't go to Scotland without something funny happening, if that makes sense. Like in England, it's no offense to all the English people, but depending where you're from and what you're doing, there could be. But Scotland has a vibe, and Ireland has a vibe that everywhere. There's characters everywhere. Like in England,
we're boring.
Some of the characters you don't want to be around, whereas Scotland characters are everywhere.
People call a spade, and even in the worst of times, people in Scotland will have a joke and a laugh and have that black humour if you are standing around a dead body. Or, I've spoken to a lot of Glasgow cops, and some of the stories they've told me, you wouldn't believe if you'd, certainly going back to the 80s and 90s, you wouldn't have believed if you put them in a TV show, the sort of black humour and the wind-ups and things that people did. But no, I think that makes it very realistic. The one thing that, and I saw someone else saying this on social media the other day, I think it was saying some show had been recommissioned, and this person said, "Well, I hope they get all the terminology right. I'm sick of hearing about autopsies or GBH." So there's obviously these things that are different to Scotland. Like in Scotland, you don't get GBH. You would get serious assault. You don't get arson. You get willful fire raising. So again, when I was in the likes of Taggart and stuff, if it was maybe an English writer, you'd always try and make sure it was the right Scottish law. And sometimes with these shows, you do watch them and they say the wrong word. And you're like, we wouldn't say GBH in Scotland. So
it is weird. Do you think they're trying to adhere to a wider audience of what is the general terminology, or do you think they just got it wrong?
You do have to realise that you're making a show for Beyond Scotland. I get that. But you want to get it right. And serious assault makes sense.
Yeah.
Willful fire raising, it makes, it's just other people would call it arson. So yeah, you're caught between making a show for the rest of the world, but I always, because I know a wee bit of police procedure, if I ever watch a show and they get it wrong, I'm like, tut. They need to get a police advisor in.
That's you got to say that famous saying all the time. Like anything you say may be used as evidence in the court of law, right? That kind of famous.
Yeah, I didn't actually say that very much. We would just in Taggart, we would just say there's been a murder. That was all.
Yeah,
people said.
That's the most famous line that everyone kind of.
Yeah. Everyone in England just that's all they quote. I used to get bullied horrendously in a funny way sometimes as well by my mates when I moved to England when I was 6 years old. And I think when I was a teenager, I used to get just people shouting at me, "There's been a murder," all the fucking time. I couldn't escape it. It was like
if I had £1 as well, Kevin.
Yeah,
I'd be a very rich man.
I'm going to murder you if you continue to say that quote.
But Scottish people don't say it to you. It's English people that say it.
No, I know. That's what I mean.
Because they like saying murder.
Yeah.
There was my favourite story about that was I was going to get on the train through to Edinburgh. I think there was a rugby match on, and you get a better clientele of Scottish person that goes to watch Scotland play rugby than maybe the football. And there was this quite well-to-do Scottish guy in the train who came past me to go to the toilet, and he stopped and went, "Has there been a killing?" And I went, "Sorry." He went, "You must get that all the time." And of course I'm like, "No, in fact, you're the first person that's ever said." "Oh, don't be ridiculous." No, trust me, you are.
Yeah, you're the first person.
You totally got it wrong. Has there been a killing?
Did you tell him he got it wrong, or did you just
No, I just laughed.
I was like, I think you're thinking of the Danish one.
But I guarantee
I
guarantee he went home to his family and goes, "Guess who I saw?" Guess
I know.
said to him, and they went, "Dad, you fucked it up."
But it's like the 1 foot in the grave one. I don't believe it, or whatever it is.
That was in Father Ted.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He sees Father Ted sees him, and he was a cameo. And he says, "Go and say to catch me. He'll love it. No one will have ever said that." And he goes, "I don't believe it." Richard Dawson punches him. It's brilliant.
And that's it. He spends the rest of the episode trying not to say it, and then they're miles away, and then he hurts himself, and he says it, and he's in earshot as well, and he comes running and attacks him.
It's so good. It's so good.
It's a masterpiece.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Go on.
I was going to say Raspberry Nesbitt as well, right? Come on, that was a classic.
Big show as well. I've not really done a lot of comedy. There was in Scotland. There was it was called the Comedy Unit, and they produced a lot of the comedy shows. And then you would have more drama stuff, and I would, over the years tended to do more of the drama rather than comedy. But I'm not a particularly. It's weird. I would always have thought that I would probably go more towards the comedy side, but it's not really something I've ever really done a lot of, which is quite funny because there seems to be they do comedy in Scotland and they do kind of murdery police type stuff. Seems to be the kind of two types of things.
And you popped up in Still Game as well, though. You've been in that.
Yeah, so that was good because Still Game was full of all my friends. It was one of these shows that Paul Riley. I was at youth theatre with him. Then I was at drama school with Greg. Married my friend Julie Nimmo, who again I'd been at youth theatre, and so I was at Greg's wedding. And then I did quite a few shows with Jane McCarry, theatre shows. Mark Cox, I did a job we were both in a thing called The Missing Postman with James Bolam about 30 years ago. So I'd worked with the whole cast, so it was all my friends. And then eventually I got a chance to do a wee cameo in one of the last series, and it was, again, it's like an actor growing up in Scotland. There's all these iconic shows, so it's quite good. I'm quite proud of the fact I was in Take the High Road, Still Game, River City, Taggart. It's you want to tick them off that you can say you've been in them. Perhaps Nesbitt was one I wasn't in. But yeah, it's quite good. You want to kind of say I've done a Still Game, or and yeah, it was great to work with all your friends.
Yeah, my parents specifically love that program as well. Still, they're still watching it on reruns all the time. Yeah,
Still Game.
Yeah, Still Game.
still game.
Yeah, and it's very popular on Netflix, I think. All the episodes are on there. I think it does really well. But yeah, I think Still Game's definitely probably the most loved Scottish TV show ever, I would say now.
Yeah. My mum's a huge fan of it as well.
Yeah. And it's quite universal, and it's a very clever show. It's quite sad. It's that thing about older people they're the last ones left and their family are not interested. It's got a lovely pathos to all the characters. And of course it's riotous and funny and crazy situations. But there's something sad that, it can be quite a moving show. It's a very clever show.
It was really poignant, isn't it, in places? Like it really plays with the kind of, the idea of life and what it means. And
but they've still game. They're still up for living and having a carry on.
Yeah.
No, it's a very, very good show.
Yeah.
I must admit, I'm quite surprised, Drew, you've watched it or your mum's watched it.
Yeah, I've seen.
I didn't expect that.
Yeah, my mum loves it, man. But my mum.
It ended up going out primetime BBC One the last sort of 3 or 4 years.
Yeah. Like you said, it's on Netflix as well. Like what we do is most evenings we put on like a comedy show that we've seen a million times, and that's what we like to go to bed to. Like once we've watched bedtime, we always go to bed like at 9 o'clock and watch 2 episodes of a comedy and then go to sleep, give or take an hour. But yeah, it's the most comforting way to go to sleep, I think.
Yeah. And again, I know quite a lot of people. I've met some, people that you wouldn't expect, well-to-do people, or maybe folk like cool people that I know. That again, like you go, everything will always watch an episode of Still Game. People really, really love it.
Yeah,
and it's really something comforting about it as well.
Well, that's it. I just love all the language and the terminology because I don't get to hear I've not lived near my parents for most of my life. Like when I was like early 20s. They moved away for work, so I saw them once a year for almost 15 years. And it's only recently they've moved close to me in the last couple of years, so I now see them every other weekend, that sort of thing. And it's just lovely hearing the voices because I've been too Anglified, but I just love the voice. And even when I take my partner around to see my parents, we're hanging out, she'll just give me that look occasionally when my mum's speaking. I'm like, Mum, you need to repeat that. She still struggles on certain words
yeah. They're the words we enjoy. There's some great Scottish words.
Yeah
because their Ayrshire says like, you Ken, and she's like, what's Ken? Who's
Ken? I remember hearing a story, and some quite well-to-do English actor was doing a show. I think it was at the Traverse in the festival, and his son had come up, and after like kind of first 3 days, he turned to his dad and goes, "Who's this Ken guy they were all talking about? I've never met this guy. Who's Ken?"
He's very popular.
Yeah, everyone talks about him.
But
I love stuff like that.
Yeah, no, I love it. And I went to Glasgow to see my cousin play in a band in King Tut's, and his name's Jude. His band's called The Clays. They're really, really good. They're like,
I think I've heard of them. Yeah,
he's like 17. They're like really early. They're like supporting loads of bands in the area, and I think it's amazing because he was always a very well brought up little boy, and I always saw him every few years because he's my cousin's kid. And this time I see him, he's always been like this, but tiny. He's like 6'2" or 6'3" now. I turn up, and when he's talking, like some of the words I have to like really focus on him because he's like just doing all these different slang words that even like the Scottish youth are saying that like my Scottish parents probably wouldn't understand.
I probably wouldn't know them either, Kevin.
So you what?
I probably wouldn't understand them either.
No, I had to really
generational thing.
I think they had to kind of water it down for me, but yeah, there were still certain words, or they just speak so fast as well. But I think it's that Ayrshire sort of twang as well, which is quite strong as well. And everyone always thinks it's the Glasgow, but I think there's like so many, because everyone assumes like England's got different accents and Scotland's just Scotland, but there's so many nuanced up there.
Go up to Wick or Thurso and the accent's certainly different up there.
Yeah. That's it, because Glaswegian's accent's always been like, even I joke, it's like an aggressive sounding accent, but it's like, when I took my partner there, it's like the most friendly city in the world, like it's full of the loveliest people.
But you also get people that are very well spoken. You get your kind of Kelvin Side types. You get your, your Peter Capaldi types that speak very proper, and lovely, gentle Scottish accents.
Yeah.
Edinburgh as well. Like Ewan McGregor's got a very kind of calming, kind of nuance.
Yes. So Ewan's kind of like Perthshire. So he would have grown up outside Perth. So yeah, it's quite a specific. I suppose you could think Ewan's would be Edinburgh. It's quite a neutral Scottish accent, and I suppose because Ewan was down south a lot, like his uncle Dennis Lawson's got a similar voice, that sort of nice Scottish accent.
Yeah, definitely. I don't always talk about Scottish accents, but it's just nice hearing. I just love hearing it and having conversations with people. It's something I miss, and I was talking to my partner, like I feel like I lose my identity sometimes because as soon as I hear it, I go, I get excited about
Back
it.
in the room.
Yeah. And as I said, I can turn it on a little bit, but I do feel like I'm forcing it sometimes.
But you just get it back once you hang around Scottish people.
Yeah. Well, before we shoot off, because I know we've taken all your time, it's late in the evening, but was there anything like cinema-wise that you've watched recently, or any sort of any films that you would recommend or you've really enjoyed in recent years?
Recent years?
Yeah. Rather than your classics.
Yeah. What have I seen recently that I've really liked? I do like the Jordan Peele films. I do. I'm starting to get quite into your kind of horror, more horror-y films now.
Yeah.
Quite like a good horror. Quite like a good kind of thriller horror. Saw Weapons this week. Really liked that.
Did you like? Yeah, that was quality, wasn't it?
Yeah, I thought that was. I loved that. Yeah, I quite like. I don't know what it is, but recently, if I'm going to the cinema, I quite like even stuff like The Conjuring. I quite like those sort of films.
Are you going to see that? It's out. I think it's out now, isn't it?
Or this week? I'll go and see that. Definitely. I would rather wait till closer to Halloween.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do like a kind of horror. I don't know if it's taking me back to being a teenager. I quite think, with like Stranger Things and It and these sort of reboot or kind of 80s things.
Love it.
Salem's Lot, the remake of Salem's Lot. Have you seen that?
I've not. I didn't see it. I didn't get great reviews. Was it any good?
No, it's not great, but it's a really good watch on a Saturday night at home.
Yeah.
Especially if you grew up watching that the TV show, which is one of the most terrifying things I ever watched as a child. But yeah, I really liked Weapons. Trying to think. Yeah, I thought there was Past Lives is one of the best films that I've seen in the past, I don't know, 5 years maybe.
Yeah, that was
really
a beautiful film.
Is that Korean? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's sort of half Korean.
Okay. Celine Song's director debut, and her new one's The Materialists.
Yeah, I really like Past. It was a wee bit kind of. It reminded me. I had that La La Land, Lost in Translation. That kind of Ships in the Night. That different time, different wrong place, wrong time sort of thing. I'm a sucker for those sort of movies.
Closing Doors.
I
really, I love those sort of films.
Sliding Doors, not Closing Doors.
Sliding Doors. Sliding Doors.
I
think because like most romantics, you have these people that you maybe meet or have met in your life, and you go, if only, or So I find those. I love those films.
I was just thinking, in a really weird way, actually, it'd be cool if Nolan did a love film, because he hasn't done something like that. Because imagine like a Nolan-esque, like missing time love film.
That would be good.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah, that would be really intricate and really tough. And
I suppose it might be a bit like Outlander that they do up here, which is like a love story through the centuries.
Yes,
it jumps about like that. So maybe Christopher Nolan could do a kind of take on Outlander.
Yeah.
That would be good. I mean, again, if you've not seen it, a couple of good horrors this year. Have you seen Sinners?
Not yet.
Oh, I think it's on Prime now to buy.
Yes, no. We're going to watch. That's a watching the big telly with the soundbar on in the house one.
Yes.
What was the other one?
Bring Her Back and Together. I'd say those two are really good. Bring Her Back. You know, did you see the film Talk to Me? That Australian one with the hand.
Yeah.
That was their director debut. The next film they've done is a film called Bring Her Back, and it is similar theme. It's gnarly. It's great.
With Sally Hawkins as the lead, isn't it?
Oh, Sally Hawkins.
Right. No, that's definitely on the list.
Yeah,
I did love the film, the James McAvoy one, which was the remake of the Belgian one last. Was it Belgian? Dutch?
Yeah, I think it was Dutch. Yes, I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was a great horror thriller.
What's the film called again?
Scoot McNairy, who's one of my favourite actors at the moment.
Scoot McNairy's amazing. Yeah.
Speak No Evil.
Speak No Evil. Yeah, I watched Is it maybe Danish? The original one is even more terrifying.
Yeah, I've heard like really mixed opinions of them because both
of them.
So I guess it depends who watches which one first. But I've seen James McAvoy one, and I think McAvoy is unreal. He is so terrifying and charismatic. You're like, do I want to be his friend or do I want to run for the hills? You know.
The first one, the original one's a lot more downbeat, but it's very, very similarly shot. Even the locations seem quite similar.
Yeah.
The ending's a lot more weird and less happy, but I thought I really enjoyed both of them.
Yeah.
And that, when I say a kind of horror thriller, those sort of films at the moment, I'm a bit of a sucker for. Really enjoy those.
Yeah. I think they're great as well. But yeah, I mean, Bring Her Back, I'd definitely recommend to you.
Yeah, sure. Right. Yeah, that's on the list.
Yeah, it's one of those ones that there's a few shocking scenes in there, but if you take them out, it's still a beautiful, really intricate, impressive story that keeps you on the edge the whole time. Brilliant.
Well, that sounds great.
Yeah, really good. But thank you so much for joining. I feel like we could talk to you a lot longer, but maybe on another time and have another chat about some other stuff as well.
Yeah,
that would be amazing. But yeah, no, fantastic.
Great to see you,
Colin. Great to meet you, pal.
Yeah,
really great to meet you.
It was awesome, dude.
The boys were very excited to have you on. As was I.
By.
I know. They do, don't they? But yeah, we'd love to have you on again in the future if you're up for it.
Great. Love to do it.
Yeah, amazing. All right. Yeah. Thanks for joining us.
Cheers,
no problem. Cheers.
All right. Legend. Bye.
This has been Rage Whale. Thanks for hanging out with us. We hope you had a whale of a time.
Thank you all for your continued support, and please do check out our other fun episodes with many great and interesting guests. And just to let you know, we're also on YouTube if you want to also watch us. But do give us a follow on Instagram and TikTok, and we'd love a cheeky 5-star rating on here if you had a moment. And if you do want to support us further, we do have merch. The links are here and on our socials. It's ragewhale.tmill.com. Thanks for listening. Have a great day.